Hey everybody, this is Cristina from Triathlon Mommy, DashStrøm Coaching, and DashStrøm Run Clubs. And I help moms just like you start a profitable children's fitness program in your community so you can have three outcomes. You can earn income, you can get fit, both physically and mentally, and also, and most importantly, you can impact and transform your community by getting the kids healthy outside and thinking about their growth mindset and their empowerment. And today it's a Saturday, and I'm so grateful that I'm here with one of our clients, Leah, who just graduated from our program. I think we had our exit call yesterday, and she works full-time in the military. She is a badass mom, and she was gracious enough to come and just talk to me for a few minutes so that she could share with you guys her experience in the program. So I'm just going to get right to it. Leah, thank you so much for being here.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Cool. So Leah, what I remember the most about you when you first started was that you were in this group, right? And in our group, and you're like, I don't know, you were lurking for a while. You kept tell me a little bit what you were feeling back then, and then what happened when you joined our program.
So, again, I found you just through a Facebook ad, and I'm like, Facebook ads? No, they're never real. Let me click on it. Ooh, it sounds really good. Okay. When I got to this group, like you said, I was definitely lurking, and I was lurking for a while, and I was trying to figure out, people's experiences. Is this real? Was my main thing. Am I going to get duped? So that was like some of my things. And I remember asking a very specific question in the group, and for the comment to not be deleted was kind of like an eye opener for me. So I was like, okay, this is good, because I got real feedback from that. And then once I was in the group, it was just overwhelming because I was scared. I was definitely scared, but just the support, people are constantly giving honest feedback. That was really awesome, and still is amazing. And then, now since I jump-started the program, it's just been a blessing, not so much, mainly the mindset. The mindset has just been so good. Everybody wants to be a business owner. Everybody wants to work their own schedules. Everybody wants to make their own income at their rate that they think is feasible. And to be able to do that now has just been such a blessing to my life. You have mentioned many times, I always like to say mentored. You've mentored me many times to make me really think about my worth, because when I came into the program, I'm like, all right, this is good, and you bring just a different perspective, because I thought that my perspective was the right perspective, but it's not. There's so many more different perspectives. So since being in the group, to answer the question, it's been amazing, and there's like no way I'm letting up. So glad that I'm in, and I encourage any and everybody, you're going to be scared. You're going to be nervous. You're going to second guess yourself. You're going to feel like you're drowning at times. But at the end of the day, it's all worth it. It's all worth it. Like I can't say it enough. It's all worth it.
Well, thank you for that. So one of the things that you were very good at was to show up, right? That you were on those calls, you were doing the work, and becoming a part. Like, I think what people don't understand is that it's very lonely out there. It's very lonely when you're in this public group, or you're trying to start a business and you're not with like-minded people that are kind of doing the same thing. So I think you were talking about like what that experience of being in that community meant to you, right? Can you talk a little bit about that? Like the difference between being out there and afraid and being in here and afraid, like once you joined the program.
So now that I know that there are other people in the group that have also either conquered their fear or are still in that fear stage, I felt comfortable to be able to share my experiences and really be vulnerable. I know a few gals before, they would say, you know, Leah, thanks for being so vulnerable. And I'm like, there's no reason not to be vulnerable, because if you're thinking it, 10 times out of 10, somebody's either gone through it or feeling the same. And I know that might seem kind of cliche, like, you know, yeah, everybody says that, but that has been my experience. Everybody's like, I've been there. Or they've been like, oh my God, I'm feeling the same way. Thank you for asking that question, you know. And then just the support, you know, nobody looks at anybody, you know, through my experiences, like, why are they asking that question? Or you should be past that already. You know, everybody's like, oh yeah, here's my experience. Or like I said, to reiterate, yeah, I'm feeling the same way. So just the community, the like-mindedness, like you mentioned, is way different with people that you don't know but share the same goal than being on the outside. You know, friends and family, you know, you might have the support and you might not. You know, there's always going to be doubters, and being on the outside is almost, it was worse being on the outside than being in this group. Being in this group is like my safe place. So still it.
Yeah, wonderful. And I think that's the thing, you know, like when you join a program that are with people with that same goal, which is what you said, the goal is always going to be the goal. The goal is for you to start your children's fitness business. And in your case, you know, it's a goal that is going to take a little bit longer because you work full time. Like you have, you know, you're a single mom, you work full time. Like you can't coach 20 times a day because you only have little time spots, but this is your path, right? This is a way for you to create the life that you want. So you still have that goal, but you're not going to achieve it if you don't up level your mindset, if you don't start becoming that mompreneur, if you don't start looking at your life and be like, okay, I have a full-time job, I have a kid, I have coronavirus, I have this, I have that, I have deployment, blah, blah, blah. But this is what I can do, right? And look at the possibilities. And I think that like the change that I have seen in you from, you know, Leah that began to the Leah that is now, you are so different in terms of how you view yourself and your possibilities. So how do you feel different? You know, we've been together for 8 weeks. You know, you finished this process. It's a process, and sometimes it flows and sometimes it's a little bit hard because you have to kind of face the things inside of you that you don't really want to unless you're prodded. But how do you feel compared to who you were and who you are?
So before, I thought, I was like, okay, you know, I've been really successful at things. I always thought that I pushed myself to do certain things until now. I was like, never experienced this before. You know, I literally, it's, you know, I said it to the kids all the time, like mindset, but that's exactly what it's been. And to see where I was before, you know, like you said, I don't really want to say tunnel vision, but I thought that I was maybe like this. And now I feel I'm a little bit more like this. I can see a little bit more, but I still have more to go, you know, where I can see side to side. But where I'm at now, I not only see myself looking at things differently, but I'm also now like encouraging others to have that mindset. So this has helped in so many ways. Not even the program, but just life in general. You know, I find that the same things that I teach the kids is the same thing that I tell myself. You know, stay focused. You know, be brave. You know, even though you're scared, and a lot of this process is fearful. You know, I'll just jump into like my very first camp and having two kids, and that was a mindset reality check for me. And and because of you, was because of the group. You know, the group gave me, you know, some support behind that. You gave me a different way to look at things, which was, God, I can't even just say it enough. But it's just, it's amazing. And now that, you know, I have repeat kids coming, and you've said that before, like, yeah, my kids come, you know, over and over and over again. And honestly, in the back of my head, I'm like, do they? Well, you gotta think about it. In sports, once you play for a team and the season's over, you wait and register again. And that's exactly how it is. Session end, they liked it, they loved it rather, and then now they're back again, and then they'll come again and again and again. So just overall, the whole mindset, the confidence, I will say the confidence overall, personal and business, figuring out, Leah, what is it that you're worth? And then what is it that you're giving? That was one thing that you had said to me too. What you're giving is not free. It is a wealth of information for these kids nowadays. And I wish I had one when I was a kid.
It's okay. Yeah. So so you started the program, and before you finished it, so 8 weeks, our program is 8 weeks, you already had a group of kids, you already coached, you already have repeat customers. So what what was your experience coaching this, right? Because you have a business, you started from nothing, you now have an LLC, you have a business, you have students that are enrolled, you're enrolling now for your fall term. What was your experience coaching the kids?
Coaching the kids was amazing. I will say it's always easier coaching other kids than your own kids.
Yes.
So I studied a lot. I studied the tear sheets, which are the handy dandy drills that you give. I studied those, and then I know this might sound cliche as well, but I actually stood in the mirror and I'm like, all right, guys, I was acting like I was there, because and that's, it definitely won't prepare you for everything because kids are unpredictable. But it prepared me with the flow. And the very first day that I went, I was nervous, but I was like, do not let it show, Leah. Do not let it show. So I was just, being myself. The kids were amazing. And I had to, still think like, you represent your business, Leah. You represent your business. Like I kept telling myself that, like, do you want to act like you don't know what you're doing? Or do you want it to move slow? You want it to flow smoothly? I always keep like an actual coach. I keep a piece of paper folded in my pants, like flipped over, and I have that, and I'll casually look at it and be like, okay, minute check, make sure I'm all on track. So the very first day, it was good. It was really good. The kids left happy. The parents were happy because they did say, I was nervous about that. I was like, okay, are they going to sit in their car, hopefully, or are they going to stand right here at the side of the field? And they stood right there on the side of the field. And they were like, I always like to glance at them just to see, I try to get some feedback, are they really paying attention or are they not? 9 times out of 10, they really weren't paying attention. But a few times that I did look, they had a smile on their face and I was like, bingo, I'm doing good. I know I'm doing good. So first day, it was good. It was good, especially having worked with kids before in different capacities. I felt totally in my element.
Yeah. And so now that your initial kids graduated, do you see a change in them? I mean, you didn't have, yeah.
Oh yeah, I do. So I'm big on nicknames. So it took me a while. I asked the kids, my intro is what you want to be when you grow up. And then they'll tell me, but then I also do a follow-up and I say, well, do you have a backup plan? Like that's one of the things that I have. And some of them will be like, I never thought about that. Or they'll just shoot out and be like, oh yeah, they want to be Incredible Hulk. That's the backup plan to being a police officer. So one of the gals' name was a ballerina. She wanted to be a ballerina. And then the other kiddo, I actually made his name up. It has nothing to do with what he wanted to be. But he came out and he was, he would do good running, then he would stop. But then when he did run, he ran really, really fast. So his nickname is Turbo Feet. And the gal, she always wanted to be a ballerina, and she made a precious dance for me on day 3. She's like, I have a dance for you I want you to see. And I'm like, show me. She showed me, and she's like dancing like a ballerina. She's like, Run Club, it's so fun. It would spin around and like a ballerina. It was just so heartwarming. So I call her the ballerina. But from where they were, like my Turbo Feet, he came in, his his mindset is what changed the most. And his mom also told me that as well, where he would kind of give up, kind of easy. And then now he's just like, he uses his power words. And I always ask the kids, once a weekend has passed, I'll come back and I'll say, well, did you guys use your power words today? And he would tell me he would use it during a video game. So he would get frustrated during a video game, and then he'd be like, tell himself like, okay, I'm brave, I can do it, and not give up. And then he ended up beating one of the levels. That's another thing that sticks out in my head. So just seeing that growth within them. The little girl, she came out, she hit the ground running, she was ready, and we hit an integrity class or session or whatever, and that one was a little bit tougher for me because she didn't want to be the last. It was tougher for her. She didn't want to be the last one, but seeing her push through certain things, because I made her do it again, was amazing. And she was so happy after, like, seeing the kids smile afterwards from where they were to where they are now, and receiving certificates that I had for them. I mean, this program is amazing. If it ain't amazing for the kids, it's amazing for myself, or vice versa. So it's right. I'm getting it from both ends.
Yeah, that's the thing. And that's why I was asking, is like, because so you start a business, right? It's going to work because the business is going to work. The gap between whether it's going to work for you or not depends on your mindset. That's it. Mm-hmm. So the business is going to work, and you can't teach what you don't have. So you can't teach growth mindset if you're fixed in the like, it's not going to work. So you have to change in order to be able to teach. And the change that we see in the kid, it's monumental. And it's not just with your kids. It's every kid that we've ever worked with. I mean, we've worked with thousands of kids, and it works. And so I can say that until I'm blue in the face, but until you experience yourself and until you see that child who was like, to embracing the challenge, because for that little girl, there's always going to be somebody that comes in last. There's always, and maybe that person is always you. Like maybe there's always somebody that's the last one to be picked in PE class, right? And maybe that person is that little, I'm not saying it is, but it could be that little girl over and over and over again for her entire life. And maybe that's who she is. Or that's not who she is, but that's her role. But if she can frame that into something positive, into something empowering, then it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm always the last one to be picked. It can be hard, but it can be empowering. It can be what gives her that oomph to make it to the next thing that she wants to do, to find her talents elsewhere, to, but we have to frame that for them. We have to have them understand, you're right, it sucks to be last, but you're going to do, but you've got to do this instead, or you can see it this way instead. But anyways, but I had told you it was going to be like 10 minutes and we're almost at 20. So I know you've got to go.
Well, I talk a lot too. So.
Oh, I love you, Leah. And so any words of wisdom, anything, final words for like a mom that's out there on the fence going like, what would you say?
I was in the same spot. Ask questions. And I don't remember who says, I don't know if it's Michael Jordan. I could be way wrong, but you miss every shot that you don't take.
Yeah, it is.
That is just, if you're thinking about it, just know that if you don't take the initiative, even if you don't, join this amazing club, even if you don't try to find out why you don't want to do it, then you're missing out on taking that shot, and you're shorting yourself ultimately. Ask the questions. That's what I did. I didn't pull the trigger right away. I'm like, let me dig a little deeper. I will say that going through the initial process, having the call with you, I think twice we had it, if I'm not mistaken.
Because I didn't let you in the first time. Remember?
You didn't?
No.
Okay, maybe. Okay, so we'll say the second time,
the call that we had and how you were like grilling me with all of these questions, I was like, okay, this is good. Like, it was like you were interviewing me versus other businesses. They're like, oh yeah, come on over, give me $18 million. Yep, okay, or it's, I don't know, just the fact that you were interviewing me to make sure that I was a good fit was that really sold me. I'm like, what? Well, the program sold me too, like just hearing about it. And I'm like, oh yes, obviously I like to work out. And obviously I like to, I like kids. So you interviewing me and making sure that this is a good fit, for everybody, because what that told me was the stuff that you're going to give me, and you didn't even say this is just what I felt. The stuff that I'm going to get from her is going to be groundbreaking. She's interviewing me. She's asking me all these questions. Like, why? In my head, and I'm like, she must got some good stuff. And that's what really stuck out in my head. I was like, she has good stuff, because I've never been in this position before. And it was good questions. It was like, where do you see yourself? Why do you see yourself in that position? That was another thing. I'm like, the whys, instead of just blanket questions, it was like, why? So you can really understand me. So I felt important. I felt that you were really paying attention, so those are, to answer the question, if you're thinking about it, get on the call, see what Christina's talking about. If you don't do it, you're shorting yourself. I mean, just to be blunt, it is scary, it is fearful, but the support is there. And I know probably every person says that, but I have not been let down at all. And I ask a million questions. I am one of those. You got some people that will shy away from asking questions, or you have me, obviously, it's been like 20 something minutes, that I'll talk and I'll ask all these questions. I don't even care if it's like, well, should the grass be green or should it be like brown? Like, is that safe? Like, I'll ask anything. And to get the feedback, I've never felt shunned by any question that I asked. I always felt supported. And that helps me get through, and knowing that I still have the support, even though I took the training wheels off.
Yes, but you took the training wheels off because you're ready, right? Because I'm not gonna keep you tied in your umbilical cord when you don't have to be, because that's right. Not what a businesswoman is, right? We're growing you into an entrepreneur, and an entrepreneur is there on the leading edge, and they can have a cohort and they can have a support network, but ultimately you own your decisions, you own your business. And you're there. You've got everything that you need.
Thanks.
So you've got a backup in us. Leah, thank you so much for taking time with me on a Saturday. And so, oh shoot, I always forget to do this. Hold on. So if I could have put this before, but if you want to find out if this is the right fit for you, then book a call. That is the address. And if you're not a good fit, do it. Listen to Leah. If you're not a good fit, I'm not going to invite you in. Like when I first talked to Leah, she was still finishing another course, and it would just, and I said, this is not the right time. You're the right person, but this is not the right time. So I'm not going to, when you come in, I need you to focus. I need you to, I need this to be your priority. So I'm going to be super honest. And but nothing starts until we talk, right? That's the shot that Michael Jordan said, that's your first one. It starts with that phone call. If you don't do that, nothing even has the possibility of changing for you. So book a call, let's talk. And again, Leah, thank you so much for everything. I will see you in our little private group.
Thank you. Do it, guys. Do it.
Yes. Thank you. Mic drop for you. Okay, hold on. I'm going to finish the live here. Give me 1 second. Bye, guys.